Is it just me, or has there been a lot of hate and skepticism around Paralives? And honestly, it's for all reasons you'd probably expect. Alright, let's be real. There's always been a bit of skepticism, and hate might be a strong word. But ever since Paralives was announced, there's been doubt, criticism, and a whole lot of side-eye. And you know what? I get it. Kind of. Sort of. Maybe. Paralives is this ambitious life sim being developed by a small indie team. They've been crowdfunding development, promising a ton of amazing features, and for a long time we didn't have much solid proof that it would all come together. It's easy to see why some people were hesitant. Certainly not me though, couldn't have been me. Fast forward to today. Paralives has been in development for years, and early access is finally coming this year. But despite all the progress, there's still doubt. So let's break it all down, okay? But first, I just want to let you know that I do now have a Discord server. So if you're interested in chatting about Sims, Paralives, other life sims, Minecraft, check it out, okay? I'm starting to do my giveaways over there because it's a little bit easier. If you join the Discord, you'll be notified when a new giveaway has launched. Hopefully I see you there. Thank you. Okay, back to the good stuff. You already know what I'm about to say. One of the biggest debates around Paralives, the art style. Specifically, their character design. For some people, this is a make or break factor. If you love the look of the game, you're excited. If you don't, you might have already written it off. And as they've changed or tweaked the design, some people might have started to enjoy it more, and others, they preferred the old look. Early on, people had a lot to say about the anatomical quirks, the stiff animations, the blush, the somewhat stylized proportions. And yeah, I'll be honest, at first, it wasn't everyone's cup of tea. But here's the thing. The devs listened. They've adjusted body proportions, softened the art style, and made the infamous blush fully customizable. You can tweak it, remove it, or just go full clown mode, I guess. Your choice. This back and forth between fans and developers is actually a good thing. It shows that feedback matters and the team is willing to make changes based on what the community wants. You don't see that level of responsiveness in every game. Even still, people have been saying things like, "For me, the issue with Paralives isn't that they look 2D or even the bold outline. The issue is that regardless of skin tone or art style, the model itself just doesn't look appealing." And also pointing out the line sketching on the body is too harsh. However, as Crying Watercolors has pointed out, like all art, it's subjective. It is deliberate. Go back and look at the concept art and you'll see those same lines. Some of us love those lines. We don't see it as so harsh. Y'all need to stop saying it's objectively bad when it's your guys' opinion. And they're right. The art style of Paras is just that. It's art. Art is subjective. People are going to hate it and others will love it. That's the nature of it. With all of that said, the art style and character design seem to be one of the first and the main things naysayers point to when discussing the bad aspects of Paralives. Now, let's talk about the elephant in the room. How long this game has been in development, because yeah, it's been a while. I've moved, got engaged, married, and had a whole baby since first hearing about Paralives, and yet, we're still waiting. At first, the long dev cycle made people skeptical. Some even thought Paralives was a scam, a game that would never actually release. But over time, it's become clear, this isn't a scam, it's just how game development actually works. We're so used to finished games being announced that we forget when a game is developed transparently, it feels slow. But that doesn't mean it's not happening. Back in 2021, a fan, Lowlinder Link, said, "Remember guys, always better to wait instead of rushing with loads of bugs." And that essentially EA and The Sims will only face competition if the competitor is great. Not good. It has to be great. Sims desperately needs competition. And I completely agree. If we want to see life sims in general become better, then The Sims needs real competitors, meaning the competitors need a great game, not simply a good one. It has to be great. It needs to be real competition. This competition will push the game devs to excel because they have to. With competition, they can't coast by with lazy practices like reskinning items or reusing animations for every single item. It'll cause innovation and creativity, something that life sims desperately need. By the way, if you want to stay up to date with everything Paralives or The Sims related, make sure to subscribe. I'll be covering all the major updates as we inch closer to Paralives being released in early access. Another concern people have, the size of the team. Paralives started with one guy, Alex Massey. Over time, the team has grown, but compared to a massive EA-funded project like The Sims 4, it's tiny, minuscule, petite. So naturally, people wondered, can a small indie game really compete with an established franchise? And yet, as more gameplay gets revealed, Paralives is not just keeping up, it's pushing boundaries. From more intuitive build tools to deepen character customization, they're offering things that The Sims still hasn't done after decades. And a decade of The Sims 4, let's not forget. And the best part, the devs are putting player freedom and customization first. Whenever concerns about if the team can accomplish what they've set out to do, there's always been some back and forth. Rinwin has a good rebuttal about the size of the dev team. They stated, "What most gamers who don't pay attention to the workings of the industry itself fail to understand is that games of this scope from major publishers are in development for years before they are announced. Crowdfunded games suffer a great deal from the fact that in order to get the funding they need to announce early in development and generate buzz. In addition, you have the team size. Paralives has, I believe, 10 people working on it, and it started with one person, and only ramped up to the team size relatively recently as Patreon following made it possible to hire people. For a game of this scope, however, you would expect a dev team at least 5 times this size, and again, this wouldn't avoid the need for several years of development before a company would normally announce. That being said, based on my own experience in the industry, the current pace of progress shown in their regular status updates meets my expectations for the size of the team, and after seeing the roadmap, I have more confidence in the project than when I first joined their Patreon. But these things do take time, and they've still got a long way to go. I'm among the top tier contributors, and while I will probably end up giving them more money than I've spent on the entire Sims franchise by the time this releases, it will be worth it to see a successful entry to this genre that The Sims has monopolized to the point of complacency. Looking at other prospective projects, this is the one that I feel the most confident about the success of by a wide margin. This is the sort of approach that I appreciate. They took in consideration for the team size, the reasoning to why they announced so early, and how long video game development actually takes, especially considering team size. Nonetheless, it's understandable that if you're not aware of those factors, you might not consider any of it. Therefore, you might believe that the game isn't possible with such a small team, or maybe it's a scam. Let's be real, comparing life sims is inevitable. Paralives versus The Sims, and now Inzoî is in the mix too. And I get it. If you love life sims, you want to know how they stack up. But while these games share some similarities, they're also aiming for different things. The Sims 4 has been the go-to life sim for years after a long history and a huge budget. It offers a stylized aesthetic that balances charm with performance across various devices. Console, PC, Mac. Enter Paralives, an indie contender that's turning heads with its dollhouse life simulation approach with a highly customizable, player-driven experience with its own distinct style. Focusing on interior design and intimate character interactions, it brings a fresh perspective reminiscent of elements from Animal Crossing New Horizons. Sort of. Kind of. And lastly, Inzoî is shooting for hyper-realism with advanced character customization powered by Unreal Engine 5. However, it's currently facing challenges in delivering cohesive gameplay, making it one to watch as development progresses. Each of these games brings something unique to the table, catering to diverse player preferences. Whether you're into the classic charm of Sims 4, innovative design of Paralives, or the ambitious realism of Inzoî, there's something for every life sim enthusiast out there. Comparisons are fun, but they shouldn't take away from what makes each game unique. I do think it's fair to compare games though. In fact, I encourage it. Comparing the games allows players to identify unique features and experiences, and helps when they're deciding what games to purchase, and when comparing the games online, it helps others decide which one to purchase. That way, everyone is choosing the game that best aligns with their preferences. Not only that, but it enables players to have a deeper understanding of said games, and this means players can appreciate various gameplay mechanics, narratives, and customization options that maybe they wouldn't have known about otherwise. Additionally, by evaluating different games, players can recognize innovations and improvements across titles, enhancing their overall gaming experience, and also sets the standards for each life sim. If they know a game has something that is better than the current game that they're playing, they're going to want to push for it. They're going to want to see that in that game. Talking about other life sims, we can't ignore what happened to Life by You. A promising life sim backed by Paradox, hyped up by the community, got delayed again, and then canceled. And now some people are worried. If that happened to Life by You, could it happen to Paralives? I totally understand the fear, but here's why I think Paralives is in a better spot. The devs haven't rushed anything. They're taking their time to get it right. They're not over-promising features that they can't realistically deliver. They're being transparent about development with a public roadmap, which by the way I've linked in the description if you want to check it out. Could they still hit roadblocks? Sure, but based on everything we've seen, I don't think Paralives is going anywhere anytime soon. So, are these concerns valid? Absolutely. It's normal to be skeptical about a game that's been in development for this long, with a team size that's so small. But personally, I think Paralives is shaping up to be something really special. Now, I want to hear from you. Are you excited for Paralives? Are you still skeptical? Drop a comment down below and let's chat about it. And don't forget, like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more Paralives updates. Let's talk about Paralives again real soon, okay? But until then, stay happy, healthy, and hydrated. Bye!